If you want to use open houses to close more real estate deals, you want to listen to this video. We're going to talk about a couple key strategies we use and implement every single weekend to make sure we're closing the most amount of deals using open houses. I'm JP.
And I'm Prab, and together we help thousands of agents scale their business using digital affluence and leveraging social media. So, open houses today, and it's a big topic for a lot of agents. We all got to do them. It's a love-hate relationship, but these are a few key things that we've taken that we want to kind of impart our wisdom on you guys and help you guys out.
So I want to ask you the first question. So you had an open house this weekend. What was a couple of things you did to get ready for this open house?
Okay, this is common practice, not just with this one, with every open house you should be applying to. I break it down into three parts. So one being the MLS, two being social media, and three being prepping the sellers. So with MLS, what you need to do is make sure that your listing is live that week of the open house, and it should be at least 4 days prior to. Reason you need that is because you can get as much exposure on MLS and to consumers online, and make sure everything is up to date. Pictures need to be on there, floor plans need to be on there. All of the information should be as accurate as possible, because that is what a buyer is going to send to their realtor when they see the listing. So that's your first impression. Second is social media. So really make sure you're honing in on your social media and exposing the open house to everybody and anybody. So whether this be Instagram Reels, Instagram posts, stories of when you're getting your listing pictures taken, make sure that you have a buzz around the open house and prepping the open house so people want to be there. You want to make it look so fun that people are going to have FOMO if they don't come. Okay. Lastly, you're going to prep your sellers. So how I do this is I always kind of preface when I'm coming in for listing pictures, letting the sellers know and giving a little walkthrough and saying, hey, this stuff needs to be picked up or this needs to be decluttered. So three key things you need to make sure that when you are prepping an open house are: one, taking everything off of the counters. So make sure your counters are as clean as possible. There's no extra dirty dishes, nothing in the bathrooms. Make sure it's all empty so buyers can have a clean space. Two, make sure that the windows are open and blinds are drawn so you have nice natural light and open concept living throughout the house. And lastly, let the sellers know about half an hour before, light a candle. Make sure the house smells nice. So that way when buyers come in, everything smells amazing and they'll want to stay in the house. It's inviting and they'll want to actually tour the house as opposed to get out the first second that they get in. So those are the three things that I use. What do you think?
So I think on top of that, that's great. I think all those strategies will get you ready for that open house. If you want to get some more clients on top of that, I would say get to the open house early, 2 hours early, knock the entire complex if it's a townhouse or a condo, because you'll have the fob. I know some areas you're not allowed to do that, but you'll have the fob. If you're inviting people or you're letting them know, hey, there's going to be more than regular traffic in your area because there's an open house. Hint, hint, there's an open house. You'll get a lot of traction from that. The other thing is that you could do is knock it afterwards and say, hey, we were so busy. We didn't catch you today, but maybe tomorrow you can come by and try to get into the open house, right? So there's a lot of additional stuff that goes into an open house.
Okay, so building on that, we're talking about what should you do after the open house? What happens after that?
Yeah, so after the open house, what you want to do is you want to figure out who all came through the open house. So hopefully you're leveraging technology. We actually have an app that we use for people when they sign in to our open houses. So hopefully you're using technology. If you're not, I remember the days where I was freaking writing down everybody's phone number and I had 50 sheets, and honestly I still think I have some of those sheets in the back of my closet. But you can call everybody, inform them of how the open house went. If you had any offers, you can try to drum off multiple offers. There's a whole lot you can do after the open house, and ideally I would do that on Monday morning, because honestly at the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mark, they probably already forgot that they went to that open house. People are just busy, right? So what do you think you say if the open house was super busy to a seller? How would you handle that situation?
If an open house is super busy, I would kind of preface the seller and let them know that there was an influx of activity, there was a lot of traffic. But the biggest thing I want to tell the seller is, hey, these are the amount of interested parties. It's always about setting the expectation. An open house could be extremely busy, but nobody can write an offer. So you'll let the seller know that, hey, so many people came through. They're now salivating, thinking that there's an offer coming in. And then 2-3 days later, when nothing comes, they're going to be angry and they're going to be disappointed in you because you did not deliver. So I always preface it by saying, hey, there was a lot of activity. What I'm going to do is kind of reach out to the rest of the clients that came through, see what their thoughts are, get some feedback, and then I will come back to you, and then we will let you know when an offer is coming through, what it looks like, and kind of preface them on how to handle an offer when it comes through. So when I mean handle, I mean letting the seller know that, hey, some offers can be better. I usually let sellers know that, hey, I've seen it so many times that the first offer is usually the strongest, because people are coming in and they want to have the best foot forward in the very beginning. So it's just making sure that the seller knows that, hey, it was crazy, it was busy, there was traffic, but it's only mattering when there's an offer coming through.
So do you know why the first offer is also usually the best? So the first offer is also usually the best because that person who wrote the offer typically has been looking for a house for so long. So they've been looking at the exact same type of house. When they find something that they like, they put that offer in and they're good to go that right then and there, right? So that's what I found out huge after like a whole lot of years, right?
Busy is great. What do you do when it's a slow open house? How do you talk to the sellers with that?
Yeah, so when it's a slow open house, you kind of want to preface to the sellers. I mean, hopefully you've prefaced throughout the entire transaction that you are not a genie. You do not know what the market price is of your home. You can estimate, you can give a market evaluation, you can suggest pricing, you can put pricing on the MLS, but at the end of the day, the market will decide what your home is worth. So, hey, seller, I know we listed it for 700, but the last sold was 690. Now the market is trending downward, so we don't really know exactly where it's going to go. But let's list at 700. Let's see how it goes. And we can get a lot of information by how busy the open house is, how many showings we have throughout the week, what the feedback is from the agents. All of that will give us a clear indication. But I do want to manage your expectations. Now, if the open house was dead, simple conversation. Hey, we're still testing the market. We're still trying to figure out what's happening. It wasn't a super busy open house. We did all the marketing. This is what we did to get people in the door. But at the end of the day, nobody came. And what we need to do is monitor the situation. We need to see, hey, is next week in the same situation? Do we have 0 showings throughout the week? If that's the case after a week or two, I would highly suggest to reevaluate the pricing that you're going with in that property, right? So what do you think if you had to get another agent to host your open houses listing? How do you feel about that?
Personally, I think it's a great idea to have other agents help you and host open houses for a number of reasons. So the first reason being is if I've got a busy listing or I've got 2 or 3 listings and I need the help, which is usually the case for a lot of realtors that are producing, and eventually you will be producing enough that you can't be in 2 places or 3 places at once. So you get the extra help from an agent. You're also getting an agent to come in and come under your wing. So this could be, say, a new agent. You're giving them experience. So you're helping them and helping them fine tune their skills. So that way, when they venture out on their own, they've had enough experience and exposure that they can be successful. So you're being a mentor in a way as well. Another reason why I love having other agents host my open houses is it lets them piggyback on the listing. So what does that mean? Basically, if I have a bunch of unrepresented parties coming through the open house, I can't represent them. I have my seller's best interest at heart. I can't have another party's best interest at heart in the same transaction. So if I have another agent there in my place, what they can do is get to know the buyers coming through, build rapport with anyone that doesn't have an agent. They've got a bond built with the buyer. Say the buyer's interested in writing an offer. They've got an agent that I know that I can trust, and we can get the deal done together. So that does 2 things. My sellers are happy. They got a good offer. The other buyers are happy. They have an agent that they trust writing the offer with, and everyone's happy. So win-win. Last reason why I love having other agents host the open house is it allows for collaboration. This is an industry where we don't have to compete with each other. We're all in it, we're all looking for success together. Why not have other agents come in and we share the success together, we sell the house together, that way we can venture and do more business together.
So one of the reasons why a lot of us got into business is to collaborate, meet new people, and expand our networks, right? So with that being said, that's how you implement our open house strategy that will allow you to do more deals. Now, we want to put these videos out to help more people, get them to the point where they're doing a whole lot of deals. If you want a little bit more help, DM either one of us open house and we'll send you our exact open house script that we use when people walk through the doors. We'll see you guys on the next video.